I'll tell you that the document that UDA and Kenya Kwanza published in the last chapter on under governance, the first promise was that they were going to conduct a state capture commission. They were going to establish a state capture inquiry and a commission, which is, I know where that came from. There's a friend of mine, I will not name him on air, who knew what South Africa did with their state capture commission and how that became very significant in removing Zuma from office. So they promised us that, and a lot of people supported them because the state capture commission was going to solve the problems we are seeing today. So let me tell you where we are with that. And that's why you will see me going to the policy, to the legal framework, to the institution that is responsible, and to the sources of money. Because if you don't operate within that framework, you are just a commentator on the street. So let me tell you that they knew that if you attempt to commission a state capture inquiry, it is the very people who have now been elected who will be found guilty. So they didn't commission the state capture inquiry. And what has now happened under the administration of William Ruto is that the state capture has become complete and it is deep. It is actually entrenched. The state capture is complete. It is so bad that a judge who makes a judgment that is not favorable to the executive, his or her security is withdrawn at 2 p.m. You make a ruling at 11. By the time you are going for lunch, you are a judge in Kenya, your security has been withdrawn. All of us meeting here know that it's happening. It has intimidated judges so badly that the independence of the judiciary in Kenya is dead completely. The independence of the judiciary in Kenya is gone, so that the judiciary is told, charge these people under the Terrorism Act, the Suppression of Terrorism Act. And the judiciary does exactly that. Instead of asking the first question, what is the evidential basis of charging these people under the Terrorism Act? Because we all know what the Terrorism Act is supposed to do. I'm just telling you how badly institutions are dead. Look at the EACC. I mean, nobody expects anything from institutions in the country. The only two offices that are working is the controller of budget and it is the Auditor General. But we know what is happening to these offices. The other commissions, like the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and all the Chapter 15 commissions, have been crippled. What has been done there is that withdraw the budget so that they don't have money to operate. So the Auditor General is there, but her budget is being slashed every year and threatened that if you continue with your toughness and the enforcing of accountability, we are going to completely cripple you, or we look for some, charges for you. You saw the control of budget a year ago and a half. I remember I was with her in Mombasa, being charged that when she was in Asako, she borrowed, she lent money to somebody, and so. You're hearing what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a circle she was an official of. She used to be an official of. Now she's the controller of budget, a constitutional office in the Republic of Kenya, who is being treated to this kind of humiliation. So that she's told, don't keep asking questions in terms of how we spend money, how we spend money outside the controls. That is how, over the last 7 months between July and March this year, you saw that Treasury spent 1.3 trillion manually. They did not do the control of budget. They didn't pass muster. So it's a rogue. This is the word that Dennis, that Asetu wants me to use. Okay. He wants me to use on the show the word that we are feeling the pangs of a rogue state, a rogue state that is not operating within the constitution. And because there is no opposition, And because the church and the religious institutions are in bed, and because parliament is dead, we are under a tyranny. What we call constitutional authoritarianism is actually what is operational in Kenya. So people can be killed, and if they complain, like you kill Albert Ojwang, if we demonstrate and complain, you kill more of us. Because why are you complaining about who we have killed? What is the solution?
What have been solutions to constitutional authoritarianism on the globe in history?
Very good. Now, some of them are extreme, but they are normally 5, if I can be able to recount. The first one, which is the laziest, is to say, wait until the election and vote them out. Well, that is a very straightforward one. The second one is the convention way, where the citizens say enough is enough, and they convene a sovereign people's convention. That is provided for in Article 1 of our Constitution, right? The third is not just a convention, but going directly to call for a referendum on the government that is in place. That is what we call in simple language recall. You recall the government that is in place because it is acting against the established constitutional order. The fourth, which is not very popular, and that is why we keep some of these for later, is that people can be able to institute a revolution. We have seen it in Sri Lanka, we've seen it in Bangladesh, we've seen it in many countries. Raila keeps giving us the Sudan, bad example, but he doesn't mention Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, which happened much later and more recently. Actually, almost at the same time with our Gen Z revolt of last year. So this is what we call popular uprising. Popular uprising mass action, which is provided for in Article 37 of our Constitution. Article 37 of our Constitution. All right? And then there's the fifth, which is least desirable, military coups. The problem with military coups, and that's why we don't champion that way of doing things, is that the first casualty of a military takeover is the Constitution itself.
Yes.
So you cannot be running away from constitutional authoritarianism to no constitutional governance at all. So we have to tell Kenyans that there are these 5 options that are before us. The first one, the laziest, is wait for the next general election. The president keeps telling us that, I was elected, and he says it as if he was elected to stay in power regardless of what he does. And the youth of Kenya have said that you can't kill us and lead us. And more people are saying you cannot steal from us and lead us. We can't allow people who violate our rights, our sovereignty, and our constitution to continue to stay in power. So where are we at the moment? We are at a place where we are only 23 months to the next general election.